Hi there. We're back with American Miscellany. Wanted to show off my gorgeous little red pepper. You see them right there? Look at that, couple of them. Looking good, right? Beautiful. They're still going, I hope. Okay, here we are back with American Miscellany. We are currently on essay number 31. There we go. There's American Miscellany. Beautiful book. We've just finished our essay on window gardening, and there's a little blurb here between window gardening and essay number 31, the Bounties of Nature. So let's go ahead and read this little blurb here. Excellence is never granted to man, but as a reward of labor. It argues indeed no small strength of mind to persevere in the habits of industry without the pleasure of perceiving those advantages, which, like the hand of a clock, while they make hourly approaches to their point, yet proceed so slowly as to escape observation. That's it. I think just noting the slowness of excellence, which is a beautiful thought. But let's go ahead and get into essay number 31, the Bounties of Nature. This is on page 85 of American Miscellany, published in 1865. The Bounties of Nature. Innumerable are men's relations with the outer world. Think not merely of the links which bind it to your animal life. True, our life depends every moment on the air in the midst of which we live. But we bear other relations to the visible world. The skies are yours for you to behold them with wonder and delight. The variegated earth is yours, and the rich uplands of the swelling hills, the music of the rustling trees, and the rippling brook. The changeful anthem of the ocean is yours, for things properly belong to those who can enjoy them, and the man of a cultivated mind has inlets of pleasure for every department and almost every object in the world. How rapidly increase our relations with the universe in proportion as we gain knowledge and become refined in taste. The infant sees in life nothing but smiling eyes and happy faces, and pleasurable is the sight. The boy views every object in relation to his amusement. The ignorant ascend not beyond the associations connected with animal gratifications. Hills to the shepherd are made for grazing sheep. Rivers, in the eyes of the commercial man, are means of inland navigation, and the ocean rises to no higher character than the great highway of nations. How different the views of him whose mind is well disciplined and well filled, whose heart is pure and lofty. How dissimilar his views, and how much more true, varied, rich, and elevated. There cannot be a greater mistake than to suppose that the obvious are the sole qualities of bodies, that the lower are the only real relations that exist between them and us. If it is found that these relations multiply with every step man takes in advance, then may we infer that there is much more yet to be known, many links to discover, other spheres of beauty, of use, of gratification. Indeed, we are as of yet only in the alphabet of our knowledge of nature. We stand only on the threshold of her temple. Not on the most tiny and inconsiderable object can we look, but wonder mingles with our pleasure. The little that we know of it tells us there are greater secrets to be explored, a richer mine in nature to be discovered and worked. That leaf pleases by its contour, and gratifies by its texture and its hue. Place it under the microscope, how eclipsed is its superficial beauty. That rivulet has caught your eye, you listen pleasurably to its soothing melody. Then mark how the daisy and the buttercup enamel its banks, how the mild violet peeps smilingly up from under its tangled shrubs. But carry forward your thoughts. See how 1,000 streamlets trickling down from their gravelly beds unite to form a rivulet, and 100 rivulets running over richly covered plains meet together in a stream, and how several streams, after watering and refreshing many a homestead and many a village, flow into a river, how, after having left their benefactions behind for men and cattle, rivers unite, and in one grand volume go like a monarch forward to the ocean, there to blend with other streams from opposite quarters of the globe and form the great reservoir of waters which binds together remote nations, supplies the clouds with moisture, makes our atmosphere fit for sustaining animal life, and sends dews and showers to enrich the earth and feed every living thing. It is chiefly when the moral and the religious feelings intervene that man's relation to the world becomes most impressive and most gratifying. Abundance and privation, seen as God's ordinations for man's good, instruct while they move and fill the mind with sentiments of the holiest kind. How great, how ennobling is the contemplation of the universe when all is seen in God and God is seen in all. Then is there excited in the mind a feeling which, more than any other, combines what is pleasurable with what is elevating, namely, gratitude. This is the emotion which an abundant harvest spontaneously awakens. In every plain, on every hillside, along the winding banks of every stream, we behold gifts of the divine bounty, trace our relations with inanimate nature, and hear claims on our grateful adoration. The birds and the cattle, in partaking of these provisions and uttering the glad tones which abundance prompts, joins in inviting man to praise the common benefactor. The joy excited by the bright promise of an ample harvest is enhanced when we revert to the privations and suffering that in times of scarcity thousands have to endure. The time will come when there will no longer be the possibility of a widely extended famine. Dearth of food does by no means depend exclusively on the abundance of one harvest or the ample returns reaped by the agriculture of one country. Moral causes here, as in every human interest, have very much to do with our condition. In the earliest periods of history, famine frequently devastated large portions of the earth. Yet the population was thin and scattered, land was not wanting, harvests in general were copious. Dearth of food arose from men's improvidence. They lived for the passing hour. Plenteous and unlimited in her gifts is our Mother Earth. But if men will not ask her for more than they at the moment need, or if they squander what they have, or if they will not take and enjoy in one part what she produces in another, what but famine and distress can be expected? We are far from having reached the limit of Earth's productiveness. How large a portion of its surface is yet uncultivated? How imperfect much of our actual cultivation? In science, the progress of society has been most rapid and most extensive. Have its resources no new power to unfold in regard to the production of food for man? Amid its multitudinous combinations, is there not one which will directly minister to the support of human life? We can send our words with the rapidity of lightning over the earth's surface. We dart through the air more swiftly than birds. Shall we despair of yet discovering means for multiplying the supplies of human food? Such a secret will, we doubt not, be discovered. Okay, little asterisks here. We dart through the air more swiftly than birds. But this was published in 1865. How are we darting through the air more swiftly than birds in 1865? I mean, the words with the rapidity of lightning, I guess we had the telegram maybe at that point. So there's a telegram with the rapidity of lightning over the earth's surface. We dart through the air more swiftly than the birds. Maybe He's still talking about electricity. We didn't have flight then, did we? Shall we despair of yet discovering means for multiplying the supplies of human food? Such a secret will, we doubt not, be discovered. But were it actually in our possession, and were we in consequence able to increase the common stock 100-fold, still should we possess no absolute guarantee against want and dearth. The lands that are most prolific are not the most free from famine. It is not abundance so much as thrift that secures man from indigence. Those who have most at their command are generally most in need. The rich man's estate comes to the hammer, while the cottage of the industrious laborer passes down through successive generations. Okay, it used to, while the cottage of the industrious laborer used to pass down through successive generations. Where nature or providence is most bountiful, man is most wasteful. The barbarian consumes as fast as he gains. What is termed civilized society bears some resemblance to savage life. Hitherto, each country has first kept its own produce to itself, then refused to receive the produce of other lands, and lastly, consumed every year what the year has brought forth. It is partly to the folly of governments, partly to the improvidence of individuals, that we owe dearth, famine, and pestilence. When we think of the amazing command over external nature that man has gained, and think also of the resources of moral wisdom, we feel no less amazed than grieved that such a calamity as the late dearth in Ireland is possible. 3 millions of men, women, and children in the 19th century reduced for their daily subsistence to the dole of charity. And in a most prolific land, with abundance on foreign shores waiting to be purchased and consumed, an entire people living from hand to mouth, the British Islands with no provision against the day of need, their barns empty, their storehouses exhausted, and that, too, when thousands and tens of thousands of hands were ready and willing to labor in producing or sending them food. The true wealth of a people is what they save from the present. Men must save if they would be safe. Accumulation renders want impossible. Accumulation promotes accumulation. Every individual ought to lay by for the future a portion of his present gains. These exertions of our moral nature must become, and they can only become, the guardians of our physical life. He is not poor, he will never be poor, who consumes less than he obtains. Where there is a spare loaf, famine never comes. Individual thrift is national prosperity. Abundance vanishes before wastefulness. An impoverished must be a suffering people. Whether, in general, the relation which the outer world bears to us individually and collectively shall be one of happiness or of suffering depends mainly on our character. Mental culture, wise forethought, generous affections, a healthy frame, these are the great sources of happiness, and were these universal, pain would be rare and famine unknown.